This is News Eye on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti, Ololade. The major headlines. Businesses brace for inflation surge as petrol hits 1,300 naira per litre. US warns citizens of fresh terror threats in Nigeria. PDP leadership crisis. Tanimu Turaki faction heads to Supreme Court. Fan issues 100,000 airport access cards after toll gate chaos. Boyfriend on the run after lover's death in Oyo. Sports. The Tigers begin training in France for World Cup qualifiers. Entertainment. Saeed Oshupa, Malaika, 83 others set Guinness Afrobeats orchestra record. GWR. Thatcher receives 2 plagues for cosmetic makeover. News in detail. Businesses brace for inflation surge as petrol hits 1,300 naira per litre. As petrol prices jumped to about 1,300 naira per litre in various parts of Nigeria on Monday, businesses across the country are beginning to prepare for a sharp rise in their operational costs. This was confirmed by economists and the organized private sector, who warned that the hike could fuel inflationary pressures affecting goods and services, while companies scramble to adjust budgets and pricing strategies to cushion the impact on consumers. As a fallout of the ongoing US-Iran war, a litre of premium motor spirits rose to about 1,300 naira per litre in most filling stations nationwide on Monday, after the Dangote Petroleum Refinery hiked discountry prices from 995 naira to 1,175 naira a litre, sparking fears of a fresh rise in inflation among members of the organized private sector. Some filling stations also sold a litre for 1,250 naira, 1,350 naira, and 1,400 naira respectively. The OPS warned that the surge in petrol prices could trigger higher transport and food prices. They urged the federal government to strengthen efforts to boost local refining capacity and look for ingenious ways to tackle the incessant surge in fuel prices. This was even as the Nigeria Labour Congress slammed Dangote Refinery's repeated petrol price hike, while there were reports on Monday that the G7 nations were planning to wade into the crisis by probably releasing emergency oil reserves. It was reported that Dangote's 1,175 naira per litre petrol price on Monday marked the third upward adjustment within a week. This was as the price of crude hit about $115 per barrel before crashing to $98 later in the evening. US won Sorry for the interruption. US warns citizens of fresh terror threats in Nigeria. The United States Embassy in Nigeria has warned of a possible terrorist threat targeting US facilities and US affiliated schools in the country. In a security notice issued via its website on Monday, the embassy said the alert was intended to inform American citizens in Nigeria of potential risk and advise them to take additional precautions when visiting US diplomatic missions and affiliated institutions. The notice asks US citizens to exercise increased vigilance when traveling to its offices in Abuja and Lagos, as well as schools affiliated with the United States. The US Embassy in Abuja informs US citizens of possible terrorist threats against US facilities and US affiliated schools in Nigeria. The embassy recommends that US citizens take additional precautions when traveling to the US Embassy and the US Consulate General in Lagos and US affiliated schools, to include varying times and routes, the statement read. The embassy advised American nationals to vary their travel times and routes, avoid predictable routines, and ensure their mobile phones are charged in case of emergencies. PDP leadership crisis. Tanimu Turaki faction heads to Supreme Court. The People's Democratic Party Tanimu Turaki-led National Working Committee said it will move to the Supreme Court to challenge the appeal court judgments over the party leadership. Governors backed Turaki-led NWC in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary Ini Ememobong on Monday insisted that the battle to rescue PDP from the hands of government agents masquerading as opposition leaders must be fought. Earlier, the panel of the appeal court led by Justice Mohammed Danjuma delivered judgments on all consolidated PDP cases. Among its rulings, the court upheld the Federal High Court in Abuja's decision, finding that the processes leading to the PDP National Convention held in Ibadan, Oyo State, on November 15 and 16 violated the Electoral Act, the Nigerian Constitution, and the party's own constitution. As a result, the court declared that the convention that elected Turaki and other members of the NWC was not conducted in accordance with the law, rendering its outcome invalid. In response, Ememobong stated that they plan to appeal to the Supreme Court, expressing confidence that the Apex Court will swiftly resolve the matter in the interest of democracy. FAN issues 100,000 airport access cards after toll gate crisis. More than 100,000 airport access cards have been issued to motorists across the country as part of efforts to implement the federal government's cashless policy at airport toll gates. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Mrs. Olubumi Kuku, has disclosed. Kuku revealed on Monday that 62,000 of the cards were issued within just 3 days of enforcing the cashless policy at airports, a development that turned chaotic as the rollout of the policy at major airports triggered disruptions. The development comes as motorists have continued to enjoy free access into Nigerian airports for the past 5 days after President Bola Ahmed ordered that the airport gates be thrown open in response to the disruption caused by the policy enforcement. Recall that attempts to enforce the cashless regime at airport toll gates effective March on led to severe gridlock and confusion, with long queues of vehicles at entry points, while many passengers struggled to catch their flights amid public outcry. The president directed that toll gates be open to allow free passage for motorists as an immediate relief measure. Ayedatiwa loses bid to amend re-election eligibility suit. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed an appeal filed by Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, challenging a ruling of the Federal High Court in Akure in a suit questioning his eligibility to contest the next governorship election in the state. In an unanimous judgment delivered by a 3-member panel, the appellate court held that the trial court probably exercised its discretion when it granted an application by the plaintiff, Dr. Akindele Egbualu, to amend the originating summons in the court. Egbualu, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress in Ondo State, had filed a suit at the Federal High Court seeking the interpretation of Section 137, subsection 3 of the Constitution in respect of the eligibility of Ayedatiwa and his deputy, Dr. Ololade Adelami, to contest for a second term in office. In a ruling on November 21, 2025, Justice Toyin Adegoke of the Federal High Court in Akure granted the plaintiff's request to amend the originating processes. Dissatisfied with the ruling, Ayedatiwa lodged an appeal, alleging a breach of his constitutional right to a fair hearing. He claimed the trial judge acted ultra-vires powers and wrongly assumed jurisdiction. Owing to Ayedatiwa's contention, the Court of Appeal in Akure, where the matter was initially lodged, directed the High Court to halt proceedings, which were already slated for judgment. The case was later transferred to the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal. Reading the lead judgment on Monday, Justice Uchechukwu Onyemanem ruled that Ayedatiwa failed to show that the Federal High Court's decision to allow the amendment occasioned any miscarriage of justice or denied him the right to a fair hearing. The appellate court therefore dismissed the appeal for lacking merit and awarded 2 million naira in costs against the governor. Rivers Assembly defends rejection of Bara's 4 nominees. The Rivers State House of Assembly on Monday dropped 4 of the 9 commissioner nominees, including a professor, submitted by Governor Siminalayi Fubara for screening and confirmation. The House, however, cleared 5 nominees as commissioners, designated after a rigorous screening process that lasted over 2 hours. Speaker of the House, Martin Amewele, who presided over plenary on Monday, disclosed this in his summation after listening to motions moved and seconded by his colleagues concerning the nominees. Amewele said the 4 nominees were dropped due to poor performance during the screening and controversies, including petitions surrounding their nomination. Distinguished colleagues, we have 9 nominees forwarded to this assembly by the governor. At the end of the screening exercise, the House has confirmed 5 of them. The 4 of them the House has chosen to take a deep breath, given their poor performance and controversies surrounding their documentation. They have not been able to show this August assembly that they are prepared to serve River State or that they are able. And we feel that they are not square pegs in square holes for the offices they intend to occupy, the River State Executive Council. On that note, distinguished colleagues, I thank you for your contributions. With your leave and in line with our rules, I will forward the resolution of this August assembly to the governor so that he can take necessary steps in the interest of the River State, he said. Boyfriend on the run after lover's death in Oyo. A 29-year-old man, Quadri Mohammed, is currently on the run following the alleged killing of his 26-year-old girlfriend, Precious Magaji, in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. It was gathered from a statement issued on Monday by the spokesperson for the Oyo State Police Command, Ololade, that the police had commenced an investigation to determine the circumstances surrounding the woman's death. One of the photos of the scene showed Magaji's lifeless body lying on the floor. According to Ololade, the incident was reported by a good Samaritan who discovered the victim lying motionless at the entrance of her boyfriend's room. The police public relations officer also clarified that the incident occurred in the Oguntula area of Ojo, Ibadan, and not in Akobo, Ibadan, as initially reported by some media outlets. The Oyo State Police Command has commenced an investigation into the alleged murder of the victim, one Precious Magaji, female, aged 26 years old, Ololade said. Man dies after assault in Lagos car park. A man identified as Okoyemi Lawal has died after he was allegedly assaulted by some park officials inside the Marina car park in the Lagos Island area of Lagos State. It was learned on Monday that the incident happened on Sunday after Lawal was accused of theft. A Facebook user, Sheriff Ojon, who shared details of the incident on Monday, alleged that Lawal was tortured by 2 car park officials before he succumbed to his injuries. He noted that the assaulters also tied his hands and leg while beating him, and that repeated pleas from Lawal and other residents to let him go were ignored. Ojon wrote in part, they begged him to untie Tope Lawal, but he refused until he gave up. The young man also begged, saying he was about to die, but he did not respond and called himself Alhaji. As stated by an eyewitness, when they were begging him, he claimed he would not untie Tope Lawal until he had been insulted by him. He would not untie Tope Lawal because he had been insulted by him 2 days ago. Following the incident, some residents on Monday went to the police division in the area to protest Lawal's death. When contacted for a reaction on Monday, the spokesperson of the Lagos State Police Command, Abimbola Adebisi, did not respond to messages and calls made to our line as of the time of filing this report. This is not the first instance of assault leading to death by park officials and transport union members. Sports. The Tigers begin training in France for World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria's senior women's basketball team, the Tigers, have begun training in France ahead of the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament 2026, which starts on Wednesday in Lyon. The 7-time African champions arrived in Villers-Bon, Lyon on Monday for the tournament scheduled to take place from March 11 to 17th, with the team confirming the arrival through a video shared on their official social media platforms. Clips posted by the team on Instagram on Monday showed the squad taking part in their first training session as well as a gym workout, marking the start of their preparations for Wednesday's opening match against Colombia. All 12 players selected for the competition traveled to France alongside head coach trainer Wakama and her assistants. Wakama recently concluded coaching duties with IVE Basketball Club in the 3x3 unrivaled league before linking up with the national team of the tournament. Although Nigeria have already secured qualification for the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 in Berlin, after winning the Women's AfroBasket 2025, the qualifiers will serve as further preparation for the global tournament scheduled to take place in Germany from September 4th to 13th. The Tigers will open their campaign against Colombia on Wednesday before facing South Korea on March 12, the Philippines on March 14, host France on March 15, and Germany on March 17. Entertainment. Saheed Òṣùpá, Malaika is 3 others set Guinness Afrobeats Orchestra record. Entertainment. Saheed Òṣùpá, Malaika 83 others set Guinness Afrobeats Orchestra record. Guinness World Record has confirmed that a concert featuring Saheed Òṣùpá, Ribina, KS1 Malaika, T.I. Blaze, and 81 other musicians set the record for the largest orchestra performing Afrobeats. The milestone was achieved during Trench Symphony, the DAPA live experience on 16 December 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos. Guinness verified that 75 musicians performed together under a conductor, accompanied by a lead singer, choir, dancer, and synchronized orchestral arrangements. Announcing the milestone in a post on its Instagram handle on Monday, the organizer said the event had been officially reviewed and verified by Guinness World Record. Glad to announce that Trench Symphony, the DAPA live experience, has been officially reviewed, verified, and confirmed by Guinness World Record for the largest orchestra for an Afrobeat concert. With unforgettable performances from T.I. Blaze, Ribina, Bad Boy OML, Cash Common, TML Vibes, Last Made, Ace Kazuli, Dul Shamani, and Fuji legends KS1 Malaika and King Saheed Òṣùpá, the night became a powerful fusion of Afrobeats, fuji, and orchestral brilliance. We didn't just stage a concert, we wrote the record book. Culture, precision, history, the statement read. Guinness World Record. Tasha receives 2 plagues for cosmetic makeover. Reality TV star and entrepreneur Tasha has been awarded 2 Guinness World Records for her exceptional makeup artistry, completing 82 cosmetic makeovers in 8 hours and 143 makeovers in 24 hours. The records were certified following a marathon makeup session at the Tasha Beauty Festival held at the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History in October 2025. Tasha took to social media to announce the achievements, dedicating the awards to women pursuing their ambitions despite facing doubts and obstacles. Recap of the major headlines. Businesses brace for inflation surge as petrol hits 1,300 naira per litre. US warns citizens of fresh terror threats in Nigeria. PDP leadership crisis. Tanimu Turaki faction heads to Supreme Court. FAN issues 100,000 airport access cards after toll gate chaos. Boyfriend on the run after lover's death in Oyo. Sports. The Tigers begin training in France for World Cup qualifiers. Entertainment. Saheed Òṣùpá, Malaika, 83 others set Guinness Afrobeats Orchestra record. Guinness World Record. Tasha receives 2 plagues for cosmetic makeovers. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, TikTok at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call our WhatsApp 091 22 22 7433.